Mr. Vaitheeswaran S., the newly appointed COO of Manipal Education Group, visited Manipal University Dubai campus today to interact with students and provide us an insight into his plan for the forthcoming years. He's present here with us today to offer us a more profound insight into his vision for the students of the university. Welcome, sir. It's really nice to have you here. I'm sure you're short of time, so we'll get straight to the questions. Why don't you start by telling us what kind of vision you have for Manipal University in the forthcoming years?
Okay, that's interesting. Vision is honestly a little too large, but I think what I'm looking forward to is over the next, let's say put it in 3 buckets, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. In the first 5 years, the need is to really look at how do you take education at the core level, post-secondary school, in India primarily and elsewhere in the globe, like where we're doing in Dubai, to a level where it makes the meaningful adjunct between education and employability. Make curriculums, make the course delivery in a way where there's a seamless transition of a student from education to employability. So one E to the other. That's really at the first level I'm looking at. Subsequently, as a vision, as what you're saying, is to make it the most preferred brand of choice for students across the globe, to say that if it's Manipal, it has to stand for something, right? It has to stand for value, it has to stand for quality, it has to stand for customized, at the same time, repeatable processes and so on and so forth. That's what I'm really looking for, and have a very strong alumni of ex-Manipal students, very successful in their own streams of whatever they want to do with their life, but at the same time being very closely connected with the Manipal universities and academics, and they start in a way driving the behavior of how Manipal education should be, both in terms of form and content going forward. Right. Very long, but that's really what I'm looking at. Also,
you have about 30 years of experience in sales, global marketing, automotive manufacturing. How do you think this knowledge will come to use in aiding Manipal University in the global and business and operational scenario?
Yeah, I think that's a good one. When I look at the working career of 30 years, I've seen people come in and almost in all stages and all functions, be it supply chain, be it factory, be it IT industry, which I did my last stint, readiness of people to take on to the job from whatever stream they're coming in still is a huge gap. So large organizations can bridge the gap by doing their own training programs, getting these folks ready. We call it from one C to the other, from college to corporate. So there is this gap between college to corporate, and it's a lot to do with the way these skills are developed, the behavioral traits are developed. So my conviction is that if we can understand what the end user industry wants and bake it back into the way we design the content and also deliver the content, in a way most of the students who pass out would hit the ground running. Today it doesn't happen. Today what really happens is that you need a whole lot of time to get these folks ready to become, enter the so-called corporate world. And that I think is a larger issue in terms of the way we get these people ready. So hopefully my experience of having seen it and been there for all this will help me to start appreciating the need from a user perspective and input it back into the curriculum and the course content and delivery in which we do. That's how I'm seeing it.
When you're talking about transforming Manipal University into a global brand, it's a tedious process. It's not something that you can achieve over a year or say 2 years. So do you have any time frame in mind that you start today, it'll take about 5 years or 10 years to reach that point? So what kind of a plan do you have in mind? Where do you start from? Where does it end?
I think I want to put it into two spheres. One is from, again, India. I still think while we will be a global company, we are a global company, we have still a whole lot of things to cover in the home country in which we are. And there, if Manipal Education can make an impact into the different lower strata of students in different parts of the country, give them an opportunity to become meaningfully educated. I think it's a big deal for the company, and 10 years down the road, if we have to look back as all of us as part of Manipal Group, to say that we have had a role in bringing up these students to a level where they, held themselves high in the society in terms of whatever they want to do, that'll be good. The second, really, I want to look at as Manipal becoming, in pockets of excellence that it already has, to become a global brand. A global brand in all walks of life. If it is Manipal, the education that they offer, the streams that they offer, has to be something like a gold standard. If I really am looking at, I'm driving a lot of back-end operational excellence in the company today to ensure that we are ready to take it on. But then, as I shared with some of you earlier in the day, we need the front end, the life of the whole cycle, the content and delivery, to become a gold standard. Today, you have different levels of excellence in the company, but if it's Manipal, it has to be one level of standard across. That's really what I'm going to drive.
You also said that you want to propel the institution to the next level of global success. Considering in perspective of the current global standing of Manipal University, which is already quite high, what would you say is the next level of success for the educational group?
No, I think we are a uniquely positioned organization. If you look at it, Manipal as a group, it has, let's say, from education to healthcare. Medicine is what we all started with as a group. Today, you are using medicine to get students pass out and do the medicines. You have hospitals which we run. So we sort of cover the ecosystem completely. I personally think Manipal is better positioned to take advantage globally. One, by the way we are spread around today, whether it's Antigua, Malaysia, Dubai, Nepal and India, we by and large in all the geographies of the world, in one form or the other. So you really to connect the dots, make the DNA of Manipal common across all this, and then we're good to go. I'm not putting myself a time perspective, whether it is a 5-year or a 7-year, but I think it is immensely doable. That's how I see it.